If you're going on a cruise, I need to warn you, there are 3 avoidable rookie mistakes that absolutely could ruin your cruise. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. I have recently heard of 3 different situations that have pretty much ruined these people's cruises, and in some cases even beyond the cruise. They really did have significant consequences. However, these are things that are pretty avoidable if you know. Now, in 2 cases, these are things that came to light in recent cruise news, but I do think that these are things that could happen to anyone, so we do need to talk about them. And in one case, well, basically somebody who is a viewer to this channel wrote to me to let me know about why she probably won't cruise again. Now, by the way, I'm not sharing these stories to shame anybody, but I do really think that there are lessons to be learned whether you're a first-time cruiser or a seasoned one. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number 1. Now, number 1 is a really common problem. And unfortunately, I read this comment straight on my channel, and I did want to share it with you. I'd like to know your thoughts. And basically, we're just going to call this one booking the wrong cruise line. Now, I'll read you her comment, and I am going to share my thoughts as well. So she says, my husband and I just finished a 7-day cruise on Celebrity Beyond. It was our first cruise, so we had nothing to compare it to. The ship was beautiful. The food was really good. But the buffet was only good the first night. 90% of the passengers were 65 years or older, and the entertainment and the music seemed to be geared towards that age group. My husband and I are in our early 40s, and we didn't find the activities and entertainment really piqued our interest. I'm not sure if all cruises are like this, but I won't be going again soon. Now, I really think that this is a classic case of not choosing the right cruise line for you. And if you know Celebrity, it is a very good cruise line, but maybe it just wasn't the right fit, which is what I think. Now, something that she mentioned was the activities and the entertainment. So I do have a little bit of a thought, especially given her age. Now, if it was me and I was thinking about another cruise line that had some similarities in terms of really a premium cruise line with a lot of good food that she mentioned that she did like on Celebrity. By the way, Celebrity's evening buffet, I don't think is as good as their evening dining choices in either some of the restaurants or specialty restaurants. However, what I thought right away is Virgin Voyages might just have been a better fit, a little bit more modern, a little bit more energetic, a little bit more youthful in terms of the music and the activities and the entertainment. So I would have thought that maybe would have been a better fit. Now, if you've been on other cruise lines, you might think of other cruise lines that would be a better fit for this person. So let me know, by the way, down in the comments below. But I really do think if you choose the wrong cruise line, even if it's a really good one, it is going to ruin your experience. Now, I have 2 more big cruise mistakes, and in both cases, they actually cost the person a lot of money. So number 2, sharing your information online. Now, what happened was a lady, you might have read this story, a lady had booked a Carnival cruise and she was sailing in a suite. It was a pretty expensive cruise, somewhere in the range of $12,000 plus her flights and her excursions. This was a pricey cruise. Well, the day before her cruise, she ended up finding out that her cruise had been canceled. Now, if you think that the cruise line just had a glitch and that's how her cruise was canceled, it turns out no, that wasn't exactly the whole story. Now, by the way, I'm going to leave you the article. It is from Cruise Radio. I'm going to leave you that linked down below in the description of this video in case you want to read a little bit more in terms of the details. But basically what happened was this lady had inadvertently, she realized after the fact, posted her booking information online. And sometimes people might do that. They might say, hey, it's a countdown. We're almost going on our cruise. And your booking number is visible. It seems like somebody, for whatever reason, what they did is they created a fake account on Carnival's website. I don't know how they were able to do this. They were able to put her booking number into that, according to everything that I've read. And what happened then is they actually canceled her booking. Now, did they do it maliciously? Was it somebody who knew her? I don't really know the details, but I think the lesson for all of us, and I don't think we need to be a new cruiser for this one, is don't post your personal vacation details, not your flights, not your cruise, and not anything else. Don't post the specifics online. It's never a good idea. Number 3, not having travel insurance. Now, we all know we should have travel insurance, but I would imagine most people would not necessarily think of this if they were in these people's situations. Now, there is a couple, and what happened is they went on their very first cruise. However, their first cruise was gifted to them from a real estate agent upon when they purchased their home. So what they say is when they went on their cruise and they chose their cruise, they really never were presented with the option to purchase any insurance. And they say as well that they didn't really think that travel insurance was for medical expenses. So you guessed it, they had some medical expenses on board. Now, what happened in particular, they chose a 4-day cruise on Royal Caribbean, and somehow during the cruise, the husband ended up having some seizures. He ended up needing some pretty significant medical care. They did take care of him on the cruise ship, but then it was decided that he would be medically evacuated off the cruise ship to go into Fort Lauderdale to the hospital. From everything that I read from the story, again, I will link the story down below in the description so that you can have the details. But basically what happened, they say, is before they could actually disembark from the cruise ship, they were presented with their bill. They were not allowed to actually disembark from the cruise ship until they had made arrangements to pay it. Now, this included their onboard expenses, so things like gratuities, beverages, casino, but it also included any of the things that happened medically on the cruise ship. Now, they did use the cruise ship medical facilities. From everything I read, this included having a blood test, having observation, having anticonvulsant medication, and a few other things. And the bill amounted to approximately $2,500. Now, for some people, maybe this wouldn't be a lot of money, but for them, it wasn't something they planned on. And it ended up, they say, that they had to drain their bank account, they had to drain their credit card. They really didn't have a lot of money to be able to pay this. They managed to secure some money before getting off the cruise ship, and then they incurred additional medical bills once they were in the hospital in Fort Lauderdale. Now, thank goodness this story in the end did have a happy ending. He ended up returning to good health. They set up a GoFundMe page that was able to help them with some of their medical expenses. He now does have insurance through work, but he says he just genuinely wasn't aware that when it comes to travel insurance, that it actually covered medical expenses, or that that's the part that was important. He thought it had more to do with cancellation and losing your luggage. Now, although his cruise was cut short, he does say in the article that he actually would like to return to Royal Caribbean again, in particular Perfect Day at Coco Cay, that he says there is still so much more to explore. Now, while these 3 big cruise mistakes are things that rookie or first-time cruisers could make, they are also things that people that are experienced cruisers can do as well. Sometimes we don't take all of these things seriously, so I do think that there are lessons to be learned. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Please let me know, are there other mistakes that people make on a cruise that first-time cruisers in particular should be aware of? Please let me know down in the comments below. And as well, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.